Potato is tomato.
Hello, listeners. Today's January 8th, 2022.
Before we get into our topic, we have a guest speaker today. Coconut, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, Bucket and Gracie Boy. Thanks for letting me on your podcast today.
Now, let's jump into what we are going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about social media.
We have done our best to find lots of talk on this topic, so we are sorry if not all of this info is true.
Now, to start off, we will be talking about what is the minimum age you should be for using social media.
I personally think that you should get social media at the ages 11 to 18 because I know you can find some stuff that maybe you don't want your child to see yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there's different types. There's lots of different apps that are considered social media with a lot of things on it that maybe your kids aren't mature enough for. But I think a lot of the time, even though their apps say you have to be 13 and all that, people would lie and they put in their age being like when they're 10 or something. So it's not really followed, and having social media can change your life.
And yeah, just to add on to that a little, kids can put in their age to be 32 if they want to on social media, because the company's not going to know. It's kind of hard to explain, but speaking is YouTube considered social media though? It kind of is, I feel like. Some stuff on it.
Yeah, it has YouTube Shorts that you can access, and people do upload things onto that, but you can stay away more from it, from subscriptions and all this stuff influencing your feed. But then you think, if it is a social media, what would the age limit be for YouTube?
Yeah.
Really, I don't think they're that's really hard to think about, because I remember watching YouTube when I was 5 with my dad, and we had some really good times together, just watching it. So I'm gonna rate it a PG actually.
Yeah. To add on to that a little, people make videos on YouTube for kids too, younger kids, that are 7, 6, around that age. Also, but that's also why they have something called YouTube Kids. It's just it's made by YouTube. It's the same thing. It's just without all that stuff on it. Yeah.
And when you start to think, if these kids are just bypassing these age, should there be identification for this age so that kids won't be going on there, because they really shouldn't, and it will affect them mentally.
Yeah, you're totally right. The only thing with that is you said you want identification, and wouldn't that be a little more trickier, and would people want to use social media because they have to go through that probably every time they log into the app?
Well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe there's less people on there, and you start to think, what would the world look like without social media?
The thing about that is you can find lots of educational, and you can find recipes and if things you want to learn, and if there's less people on social media, there won't be as much of that stuff you can learn.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. Because YouTube are saying it is social media, but it's not the worst. Would you think there would be a different age limit on that specific app?
I think the proper age limit would be from 5. Because around 5 and 6, you start to mature more from a child into a kid. So I think the age rating should be 5 to 6 to 18.
Yeah, but then comes into play addiction. And it gets so addictive because you're thinking views, likes, posts, more comments, all of these things, and it sucks you in, and it's hard to get out of.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, if you're on there, like, for maybe, like, say you're just sitting down to watch YouTube, like, one episode, like, one video or something, right? And then you check the time, it's, like, an hour later. Like, yeah, it's just...
Like, it's okay to watch like a couple YouTube videos every now and then. That's good for you. It's nice to have that time, but when you're watching every second of the day and you just keep watching these YouTube videos over and over and over again, it's not good for you. And that addiction comes into play, and it can happen.
Yeah, but then there's that, like, is it addiction, or do you just, like, really like YouTube and social media? Like, let's say you sit down on the couch and you start watching, and you look at your phone and you say, "Oh, I've got like 2 hours left before I have to go to this place," and you continue watching. Would that be addiction, or would that be, can we watch one more?
Well, the fact that it comes to your mind first, when you could go outside, go for a run, play with people, go to the park, do something in the world rather than just sitting on your phone watching some people, giving them likes and views. You can do other things and socialize with people in your life.
But here's the thing. I think it's been harder for people to not get addicted to social media these days because of COVID-19. Because everyone's just sitting at home and, like, not much else things to do. So everyone's just been on screens and social media all day.
It's because COVID-19 we're being so strongly impacted by COVID-19 that people don't want to go outdoors, and no outdoors means they want to sit down and watch more YouTube or look at social media.
Yeah, but then, what are the types of things that could happen to you if you're on social media that much?
I mean, we talked about this in our last podcast. Your mental health would rapidly decrease because you just be sitting down all day, every day, and looking at social media.
Yeah, and there's some things that could happen to you on social media if you're not careful. And this whole thing in general, this whole big social media thing, it's all about the user and how they use it. And some of the things that could happen is cyberbullying and scamming when you're on social media, even if you're being super careful.
Yeah, cyberbullying is a pretty big problem too. It doesn't really happen much on YouTube unless you post a video and people can do hate comments, but on TikTok and Twitter and all of those type of stuff, yeah, there's probably a lot of cyberbullying.
Yeah, cyberbullying, 100%. If you were to just watch, like we said, social media all day, every day, you'd surely have to have some or more people trying to bully you on it.
Yeah, and are we safe to be on social media in general?
We are. There's nothing wrong with going on social media once in a while and looking at some posts other people have made. But if, like we said, if you're on there a lot longer than you should, yeah, I guess it would.
And let's say social media was banned. How would the world, what do you think the world's reaction to that would be?
Well, that would be I think people would take that very drastically. Yeah, we'd see a much bigger impact if the world did ban social media, and I guess we wouldn't be able to learn as much as we would from random posts people make.
Yeah, leading back to addiction for a sec, that if you're addicted to social media, right, and all of a sudden it gets banned, right, you're gonna be like probably angry actually. You're gonna be really upset. You're gonna have nothing to do after because all you did was have social media.
Well, this whole number trap with views and all this type of stuff, I gotten trapped in it before, and it really bogs you down, and you're like aside from yourself, and you're not really like you're not into some of the things that you'd usually be into, and it's hard to get out of. And now I have, but I think the easiest way, like I just delete it, like the whole thing, and it does help.
Yeah, like so I used to have TikTok because I was posting like Clash Royale videos or something like gaming videos, and my friend was also too, and he had more views than me, like you said earlier, and I was checking my phone every second to see if I had a notification, and it wasn't. So I deleted the app, and boom, I'm fine now. Just one single click of the button.
Now, my parents actually are not a fan of social media, which means like I don't have any of the social media apps. But so I've never really been in that situation before. But I can totally see that you'd be looking at your phone every couple of seconds to see if you got a like or a view.
Yeah, and like it's not a good thing actually. Like, say you get 100 views or something, right? That's cool, but you might be checking your phone every second to see if you got one more view. So, like, maybe check it once every week. That's fine, I guess, right? Or like
Week
once
is a bit drastic. I'd say more day.
Yeah, more day. Sorry, yeah, I don't know. Like once a day. That's not bad. And maybe you can just watch a couple of videos on YouTube and stuff like that. That's fine. But if you're on it for like 3 hours straight, yeah, I said just taking a break.
Well, thank you, Coconut, for coming today. That looks like all the time we have. Once again, we've been getting some really good topics from Bucket, so we will definitely have to do a part 2 on this. Maybe we could bring you back when we do. But thank you for all today. And have a great day.
Have a great day, listeners. Goodbye.
Potato is tomato.